on the GT500. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out some quick maintenance. We're gonna do some new spark plugs and also replace the cabin air filter, as well as I wanna go ahead and get a data log, send it off the tuner with the 2.5 pulley on the 93 octane tune. I do run some boost in with that, but it has lower timing in it, which I think is a little bit safer. If you guys saw a couple videos ago, we did a couple of street stuff and the air fuel ratio got super fat. So I want to make sure it's something mechanical, so we're going to do new plugs, make sure there's no like spark blowout or anything, because it's been a while since I've done plugs on this car, maybe about almost 2 years now. So I figured just be safe, we go knock that out, and then we'll go ahead and knock out cabin air filter stuff right there, because we're right there, and I'm noticing some funky smells as we're driving around. And get a data log in. So what I like to do long term is go ahead and get a 6130 hit, see how it does the 2.5 pulley on pump gas timing, and then try out the race tune, kind of see what the differences are there. Last time I did it on the 2.6, and we got a 7.2, and then we did a 7.0. That was the difference between no race tune and race tune, knocked off 2/10. So I'm just curious to see what it comes out as. If we get finally in the 6s, that'd be sweet. But we'll see where she's at. I feel like the car makes some good steam now, so we'll see what happens. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the easy part. We're gonna knock out the cabin air filter, just something simple. And I haven't seen many videos on how to do it. So this is also for my first time doing it, so follow along. I might make a few mistakes and learn from mine. So let's go. So the actual filter, this is something off Rock Auto, super easy. Part number, there was a bunch of different ones out there. You can get AutoZone, Fran, doesn't matter. And then spark plugs, running some NGKs. So I had Motorcraft SP471s in there. They're really awesome. And the only problem is they're out of stock right now on Rock Auto. So these are the BR7EF, the pre-gapped at 0.28, or 0.028, just tested them all with my little gapping tool right there. And yeah, they all check out. So we'll go ahead and put these things in there and they should be fine. It's a copper plug instead of iridium, but I changed these, I mean, probably change these once a year, maybe every year and a half. So the copper lifetime problem won't be an issue. So we're gonna knock this out, get them replaced, and then kind of go ahead and go from there. So let's start with the cabin air filter. It looks to be fairly straightforward. I haven't done it on this car before, but I know it's located right here. So it looks like we just pop out these two, this guy and this guy. This whole half should come off, and we'll see how that works out. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, I have you guys setting up the blower. So it should be pretty easy. Pop this guy up. Hopefully I planned properly and didn't put my cable. Yeah, we're good. Oh, I wanted to rerun that zip tie. That's what I was worried about. I did not plan properly. No worries. Didn't actually anticipate taking any of these guys out just right now. So it is what it is. But that's out. And then in theory, yeah, just like that. Pops up. And this one should pop up, hopefully, somehow. Yeah, I see the box right there. So slide this up, kind of get it out of the way. You caught on. There we go. All right, well, that's good enough. We don't need that much room. Oh, look, cabin air filter's right here. So that works out pretty easy. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. There's the edge of the filter. So I've never changed this thing. I highly doubt the previous owner ever changed it. So let's go ahead, little clip, push it toward me. Like so, and it pops right out. So yeah, that's that. She's a little grody. Might be, yeah, it's probably time. So I didn't realize it was right there. That's kind of interesting. Pop this guy out like so. Yeah, she's seen better days. And pop in our new one. All right, so the new one's right here. Now, this is like super straightforward, so two sides do have foam, and it comes in some directions, so that's cool. Let's see. Don't think it's directional, but that's what the instructions are for. Get in like so. Yep, just like so. Get it all nice and stuck in, and yeah, that's pretty easy. So go ahead and pop that in there. Back in the car. So let's do them pretty simple. Two little spots on the bottom, on the top. Get it on in there. Oop, too far. Trying to get it to line up with its holes. There we go. Just like that. Easy day. We just got to set this back in place. This goes underneath the wiper. It's kind of a pain like so. theory, it should just clip back in. You can see the little clips in there. And there we go. Gonna re-zip tie this back to this little finger right here. And then put our little push pins back in, and we're good to go. Do that off camera. All right, so then for this is a T30 Torx bit. We'll knock out the spark plug. So T30 Torx, 10 mil on this side, and then I gotta take off my intake tube on that side to get the plugs on that side. So go ahead and knock out this side first, just because it's easy. I can rotate that out of the way real quick and pop off this coil cover, and pop out our plugs, and see what they look like. It's been a while since I've been in here to look at them. All right, so here they are. This one looks like it had some water in the cylinder. Not the cylinder, but the back corner. I've had this happen before. It's kind of weird. Sealed off, but it's just, yeah. Anyway, so these are all the front ends though. And as you can see, orange man plugs, there is nothing really to read on these things because the way butane burns. So that's kind of the reason we're changing them out though. Like, I'm sure the spark area is still fine, but after extended use, you really want to change these suckers. And they all look pretty much the same, which is good. If one looked drastically different, it might indicate a problem. But yeah, there we have it. So nothing too crazy to worry about. I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, that's really about it. So we'll pop in the new plugs. And these are these guys. So a little bit slightly different design, nothing crazy. You line the necks up the same right there. So you can see these don't protrude into the cylinder quite as far, a little bit more up. Reading some dude comment that it helps prevent spark blowout. Personally, I don't really think it matters. So we're gonna go ahead and pop these guys in, and yeah, it should be good. Interesting, that's a hair longer on this side, but thread length and everything like that looks solid. So should be good. Let's pop those guys in. Pretty easy. Go ahead and crank it up real quick. Just make sure everything's good. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but just knock it out. Make sure everything's plugged in. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm curious if air fuels will change at all. Really doubt it. Firing on all 8 before, but just see how it sounds real quick. I have in stock mufflers is pretty sweet. Started up at night and not feel bad for the neighbors. Still loud, but nothing crazy, not like the Corsas. So that's pretty much gonna do it really for now. I'm gonna go ahead and swap the 2.5 pulley on real quick now that I'm thinking about it. I do want to data log with that one and throw some boost in the tank. And really that'll be it. Hopefully it'll hook up on the street tires in third, find out. And hopefully the next, yeah, that'll be next. 2.5 pulleys on, that takes care of that. Hopefully the next scene is doing a data log. So that means everything went smoothly. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. I gotta toss some boost in the tank and we'll go ahead and knock that out. Should be a good time. All right, let's go ahead and get our data log pull in real quick and see what it looks like. Got some ice in it. She should be good to go. So went ahead and did our data log, and still pretty rich, which is kind of why we did this whole thing. So looking at our chart over here, sorry about the glare, we got kind of starts at 11.0, and then by the end here it's kind of getting like low or high 10s, mid 10s AFR. The average is a little bit like a 1075 to 1, so it's a little bit richer than we want. So you go ahead and set up BJ, and hopefully we can get us squared away and it'll be good. I haven't run the 2.5 pulley with the pump gas tune that we did forever ago, so I imagine the extra airflow, maybe something's not scaled right, who knows. But we'll go ahead and get that taken care of, and hopefully we'll be back soon. All right, so it's definitely not as good. It's definitely not as good as it was the last time I did 6130 testing down in Mexico. It's a little warm out these days, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. So haven't heard back from the tuner yet. Sent that back on Friday, so you know it's got a couple days. But I do want to test. I want to see where we're at when the car ran against that Camaro a couple videos ago, and then we're going to try the race tune and see how much of a difference it actually makes. I'm really curious because the 2.5 pulley is actually starting to push some boost that matters, and yeah, we'll kind of see what it does. The internet claims, looking at this configuration, that the 2.5 pulley on pump gas tuning is supposed to make around 730, 740, somewhere in that range, and then with the race gas tuning, 22 degrees of timing, allegedly, where it should be low or high 700s, maybe even clicking 800. I don't think that's accurate. If we run like a 7 or a 6.0, maybe we're at 800, but we'll see. I just want to go ahead and take a look, and we'll kind of see what it does. The previous best in this car was a 709, I think, or something like that. So we'll see what it does. I'm curious. You got the drag pack on for lighter wheels and tires. We had the heavy wheels on the last time. Shouldn't really matter that much, but we'll see. And we're going to try a 234 down in Mexico and see what that does. So without further ado, let's go ahead and try it out. This first pull should be no changes as it sits, and the second pull we'll try out with the race gas tune. Alright, so hard to see. We're in a 7.1, which is not where I thought it would be, but it was interesting. I finally caught it being super rich right in this area. And I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what the hell happened. So right here, injector duty cycle spikes, we get super rich. But what's more interesting is the rail pressure drops from an average of like 54 PSI, and it drops down all the way down to like 46 PSI. So where it drops down, injector duty cycle jumps up to compensate, and we get rich for a bit. Then it kind of comes back and it goes up and down over here. So I think we might have a fuel pump issue, to be honest. That's a little bit interesting. So I'm not going to go ahead and beat on it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and turn this log off because this actually captures the problem I'm talking about. and kind of see what he says, but I have a suspicion there might be either a fuel pump voltage booster issue. We can check our wiring or something, but that's not supposed to be like that, so we'll see what's going on. Definitely screwy. All right, so we got a tune update with the car. It looked like, of all things, a cat safety was getting turned on. Usually doesn't activate till pretty high temperatures, but I guess secondary O2s are picking up some pretty good heat. Kind of makes sense. More air, more fuel, more heat, so haven't run into that before. But that was apparently the issue, so I'm gonna go ahead and run out, do a test. This isn't gonna be a record 6130 by anyone's means. I'll go ahead and see what we can do. So a little bit low in fuel, not totally low, but probably get one hit in and then we'll kind of call it. Yeah. All right.
You're good. 30. 60. Half on. 130.
All right, so back from Mexico. My brain kind of turned off with that. So I did have my wife with me. She wanted to go for a ride, so we drove all the way down to Mexico. Just do a pull in it, so a little bit different. And I think my brain turned off, I'm pretty sure, because I flat foot shifted the 1-2, which sounded sweet. I don't even think I tapped limiter. It was very quick, which was nice. Old transmission, wouldn't have happened. This one though, pretty solid. So nice quick shift. And then my brain was kind of catching up to WTF did I just do with no watt lift or no watt shifting on. There's actually a watt box in there that does let me do that safely. Didn't have it on, so it just kind of sent it. So by the time my brain caught up, I shifted to the next gear and kind of let out for a second without really thinking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, I have a whole other gear to pull to test this thing properly. So pull out the rest fourth, checked out the log, looked pretty solid, sent it down to the tuner. So should be good. I also noticed, well, not I noticed, BJ said the air fuel ratio, the long-term fuel trims was steady at 1, which meant, I guess, adaptive learning was not turned back on the tune we were running. Not this last one, but the one prior that was having issues. So that's on. After a little bit of driving, I immediately noticed like tip-in feels significantly better. The only thing is none of the options are on with that tune, which kind of sucks on the actual handheld. So my wheel speed's way off, and the thing else, and my idle's back up at 900 instead of 800, which that's not the end of the world. I don't really care about the idle, but my wheel speed being off by a decent bit is not good. So it's off by about 10 miles an hour, which is a bit extreme, and I can't adjust it until I get an update. So I don't really plan on driving the car for a little bit until we get that last little bit sorted out, and then in theory it should be good. It saw 18.5 degrees of timing, so it does have a little more timing than the other tune, which is nice. The only, let's see, I think it's everything. So until that point, looking at the time slip, we were actually on a rip about a tenth and a half faster than the other one with additional person in the car. So that was pretty cool to see up until I goofed the shift, so it is what it is. But yeah, that was the same basic tune, no race stuff. So we're good. I think we're more or less there. One little tune update for the handheld so I can turn my stuff on and adjust my tire ratios and all that stuff, and then we should be good. The only downside is they're getting a hurricane down there right now at the moment. So he was nice enough to call me after hours yesterday, and we were able to work out kind of the tune aspect there. And then, yeah, he went over a bunch of stuff in the data log with me, which was awesome. Kind of showed me side by side why the fuel pumps aren't having an issue. It's the rail pressure dropping when the ejectors go wide open to try and go fat. So he's saying the fuel pumps and stuff do have an issue. Before it kills itself, it will do a similar type deal. So it will go wide up or as rich as possible to try and save itself. And then once it's out of fuel, like it can't support anymore, then it'll go lean, boom, not good. So it is something to look out for if you notice that. But yeah, pretty sweet. I may change out the pumps in the future just because they are 17 years old at this point. I don't know, trust issues maybe, but we'll see. So all in all, pretty happy with how the car's doing. We'll get back out there and do an actual, no kidding, 60 to 130 test. Probably just do a 3.4. I think the 2.34 is slower, to be honest, but it was comparable. So I don't know, we'll see. But we'll get back out there. I got some drag strip stuff I want to do. I did hit the guy up about the Whipple. He is actually still down to do it. So if we go the Whipple route, we got a couple of changes to make, but I don't know if we're going to go that route yet. I want to get to the drag strip, and the goal is mid-10s with about a 135 trap speed. If we hit like 10.5, 10.4, 10.6 in that range pretty consistently, and we're hitting 134 to 136 trap speeds pretty consistently, I'm gonna leave it alone. I like how the VMP pulls, pretty sweet with it. But if we want to go down and grow in the future, it might be a better move to go with the 2.9 just because it can support a lot more top end. So we shall see. I'm a little bit torn on that at the moment. But yeah, that pretty much sums up everything going on with the car, going with our test. I think we're pretty much dialed in. So without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and have a good one.